Toy Story 5 is officially coming, and everyone's talking about it. The release, the nostalgia, the return of Woody and Buzz. But here's something most people forgot. Toy Story was never really about toys. It was about us, about growing up, about what it means to love, to lose, to move on, and to still hold on to what made us who we are. When the first Toy Story came out in 1995, most of us were kids. We thought it was just a fun movie about talking toys and a jealous cowboy with a hat problem. But over time, Pixar built something bigger, a mirror of life itself, dressed up in plastic, cowboy boots, and tiny spacesuits. Before Toy Story 5 arrives, let's explore what we were actually supposed to learn from the first 4 films. Slow zoom on Woody's hat falling to the floor, fade to black, friendship and ego. Remember the very beginning, Woody and Buzz Lightyear. 2 characters that couldn't be more different. Woody was loyal, grounded, confident, but secretly insecure, which is basically 90% of us if we're being honest. Buzz was shiny, ambitious, confident, but a little oblivious, like that friend who just bought an NFT and won't stop talking about it. When Buzz showed up, Woody's entire identity shattered. He wasn't the favorite toy anymore. And in that jealousy, Pixar gave us one of the most real portrayals of human insecurity ever shown in animation. How often do we feel threatened when someone new enters our life? When someone else starts shining brighter, we tell ourselves we're fine, but deep down we feel replaced, forgotten. Woody learned, and we all had to learn with him, that real friendship doesn't fade when the spotlight shifts. It grows. Buzz and Woody became brothers not because they were the same, but because they accepted their differences. Friendship isn't about being number one. It's about staying loyal even when you're not. And let's be honest, isn't that a lesson we all need in group chats, offices, and family reunions? Change and the fear of being left behind. In Toy Story 2, Woody meets Jessie and Bullseye. Suddenly, the story wasn't about jealousy anymore. It was about fear. The fear of being left behind, abandoned, or forever stuck in a box like those unsold fidget spinners in the back of a Walmart aisle. Woody gets torn between staying with Andy or living forever in a museum. Safe, admired, but never played with. He had to choose between safety and purpose. How many of us cling to safety? Jobs, habits, relationships, even when it stops us from truly living. Woody chose Andy. He chose the pain of being temporary over the emptiness of being untouched. Because being loved, even for a while, is better than never being truly seen at all. Toy Story reminds us, you can't be loved if you're too scared to be played with. Sometimes growth requires risk, and maybe a little self-inflicted panic over what comes next. Letting go and growing up. Then came Toy Story 3, and it hit us harder than anyone expected. Andy was grown, the room was different, the toys were forgotten in a box. For the first time, every millennial who grew up with this movie realized, oh, this isn't a kid's movie anymore. The scene where Andy hands Woody to Bonnie, that was closure we didn't know we needed. Because letting go is one of the hardest parts of growing up. We hold on to people, jobs, moments, thinking they'll last forever. But everything changes, and that doesn't mean it didn't matter. It means it did. Andy didn't give Woody away because he stopped loving him. He gave him away because he learned what love really means. Love isn't ownership. It's trust. It's letting go and knowing it's okay. When Andy drove off, we all felt it. That lump in your throat. That bittersweet ache of remembering who you used to be. Toy Story 3 wasn't just about a boy saying goodbye to his toys. It was about all of us saying goodbye to childhood and realizing that nostalgia is basically just emotional Wi-Fi connecting our younger selves to our adult selves. Identity and purpose. Then came Toy Story 4, a movie that everyone thought we didn't need, but ended up being exactly what we needed. Woody meets Forky, a toy made out of trash. Through Forky's eyes, we learned something deeper. You don't have to be perfect to have purpose. Forky kept trying to throw himself away, literally, because he thought he was worthless. But Woody refused to let him. Woody sees value in everything, in others, in himself, in the act of caring. Toy Story 4 also gave us one of the most adult endings Pixar has ever done. Woody doesn't go back with his friends. He chooses his own path. For the first time, he lives for himself. It was the end of his era and the beginning of something new, and maybe that's the final piece we were supposed to understand. You can love people deeply and still outgrow the version of life you shared with them. It's not betrayal, it's evolution. And honestly, Woody taking his own path is the ultimate I'm done adulting for other people energy we all secretly admire. Why Toy Story 5 matters. So now we're here, 2025. Toy Story 5 is on the horizon. People are asking, why another one? Haven't we closed the story already? Maybe not, because Toy Story was never really about endings. It's about what comes next. Every generation grows up, finds love, loses it, finds themselves again. Toy Story 5 might remind us that life never stops teaching us, even when we think we've learned it all. Maybe it'll show Woody learning how to exist without needing to belong. Maybe Buzz will discover meaning beyond being a toy. Maybe a new character will remind us that everyone has value, even if they feel lost or broken. Deep down, Toy Story is our story. The fear of being replaced, the courage to change, the heartbreak of letting go, the beauty of starting over, and the hope that maybe, just maybe, love doesn't end when life moves on. So when Toy Story 5 hits theaters and you see Woody again, remember what these movies were always telling us. You've grown, you've changed. But the love that shaped you, that never leaves. If Toy Story was a part of your childhood, if it taught you something you still carry today, hit that like button, share this video with someone who grew up too, and follow Inside for more stories that matter.